Welcome to Presentations, Module 1, Creating, Formatting, and Editing Presentation Slides. In Module 1, these are all the topics that we'll cover within this module. So there's a lot of information and there are a lot of slides, so we'll see how far we get on this first video. So what is presentation software? In the introduction, I did have this slide there. It's a digital tool that displays a slideshow on usually a large projection screen for an audience to view all at the same time. There are quite a few varieties of presentation software available, some free and some for a small fee. Some of the examples are below: PowerPoint, Google Slides, Prezi, Canva, Keynote for iCloud, Sway, and Visme. So what is the power of presentation software? There are, in every slide that you create, new, or you can duplicate or copy slides, you type in what's called placeholders, and you can edit just like you would if you were in Word, to make the font size a different type, a different size, a different color. You can also use word art, and it's quick and efficient. You can change the appearance of the layout. Each slide, there's many options to choose from for the layout. You can have the same layout, or you can change each slide to be unique and different. The slides can be organized and neat, easy for the audience to read. You can also include other applications, meaning you could import something from Excel or something from Word within PowerPoint. They are within, when you're working with Microsoft Office Suite, they are all integrated, so they work well with each other. Also, you can use different platforms within the slideshow, and we'll get into that later on. And the nice thing about this is you can share and collaborate with others when you're working with PowerPoint through Microsoft Office. So when you're getting ready to create a slideshow presentation, the important part is to plan. Just like if you're writing a research paper, you always have to do an outline first. So it's a way to become organized and put your items in the order that you will, like your introduction, your main points, your evidence based on each topic that you discuss, and then at the end you have a closing summary. So you would do the same thing for presentations. You would plan before. The first thing you would do is determine what your mission or your message is going to be. The second would be the audience. Who will be in attendance? Do they know the information? Should there be a brief introduction or description of whatever the topic is? Are they well informed of the information? And you can go right into more specifics. You have to know your audience so that you can be prepared. Prepare your presentation, especially if it's for a large viewing audience. Make sure that the text that you select within the PowerPoint is large, so that people that are seated in the back of the room would be able to see it clearly. Do not have too much text on the screen. If it's a lot of text on the screen, the people will be reading and not listening to you, and you'll lose their attention. Also, if you have a lot of information to share, maybe you would like to have handouts of the slides so that people could jot down their own notes while you're chatting. And select a theme within this presentation that will work closely with the actual topic at hand, so it flows smoothly and is appealing to your audience. So the first thing you would do is open up PowerPoint and choose New Blank Presentation. And when anyone opens up a blank presentation, everyone will open up to a title page on the slide for the very first slide, and then you could change it. You don't have to keep the one that's there, but everyone has, and it's called Presentation 1 until you give it a name. and it's always with the title. So if you already had PowerPoint open and it was ready for a completely new presentation, what you would do is click the File, Backstage area, and then you would choose Blank Presentation. If you're opening PowerPoint for the very first time from your browser, this is what would appear right away. So you would just click Blank Presentation, and it's already automatically at New. If you wanted to open a presentation that you were working on previously, you would go to Open and you'd get a list of the most recent PowerPoint presentations you had open. And then also what's found within this New would be templates of presentation themes that you could open from here. So once you can select from the Backstage area by clicking File. You can choose New, Blank, or Open, or even Templates. These are a few samples of the template styles that are available, and once you click one, it gives you a description of when this particular style would be helpful. And then you could either use your arrows to look at more of the options that are available, or you could choose Create to open it up. And this is a sample where you can see more images of this particular design theme, which is called Chalkboard Education. And if you accept it, just go ahead and click Create. At the end, when it's time, and you probably should, it's a very good idea to save frequently within working on a document, in case for any reason you were to lose power. At least you have a current updated save on this particular presentation. You can click the floppy disk at the top left corner. Also, the shortcut key is Control S. You could choose File and then the option Save As, and that would be the time that you would change it from presentation 1 to something that you will be able to locate later on. And you can also save it to your OneDrive. So the saving default is saved with the file extension .pptx for the newest version of PowerPoint. You could, if you wanted to, save it as an earlier version, or you could save it as a PDF if you knew you're going to be sharing it with someone that does not have PowerPoint software. You could save it as a PDF. You can save it as a video, and you can also print out handouts. And there are other files that you could save it as in case you're sharing with someone that does not have Windows and is working with Apple. So these are the views, and we talked about this briefly in the introduction. The normal view shows what are called thumbnails, little pictures of all of the slides in numeric order, and the one that's active has the orange bar around it, around the frame of it, and you'll see it larger in the middle of the frame. So that's called normal view. On the status bar, you see it down here on the bottom, it shows that there are 1 of 13 slides, and it's currently in normal view. You can also get the view from the View tab in the ribbon. Slide sorter, this is an amazing feature. You can also make them smaller so you can see all of them, and you can just easily glide them around to whatever order and it renumbers them. So if I took Man's Best Friend and just dragged it over to here, it'd be the second slide, and then this would be then it would just move, and then All Warm and Fuzzy would be slide 6. So it's a nice way to see if the thumbnails, your slideshow is in accurate order, it flows smoothly in slide sorter, and you can see it down here on the status bar, or you can also get it from the View tab. Reading view, again, it's down at the bottom. It looks like an open book. And what it does is it gets rid of the tabs, the menu tabs, and the ribbon. It's just a larger view of the presentation. So that's in reading view. Outline view, it gets rid of any pictures that you would have had visible on your slides. It gets rid of the design theme, and you're just seeing the content, the text, so that you can see that it flows smoothly. So that's outline view. Slide notes view, if you were to click notes, or also in view choose slide notes, you would see information at the bottom of your slide. It comes up automatically, click to add notes, and you would click at this bottom part and type whatever information you wanted to share with the audience. And we'll get into later on what is presenter view. So what happens is you could see your notes under each slide, and your audience would just see the full size. They would not see your notes. That would be for you to refer to. So slide notes in presenter view is amazing. Usually the note section is very small, so if you hover over the boundaries, you can either make it larger or smaller if you have lots of information to type. So that's slide notes view. Printing options. So the default to print is a full page. So as you notice, the settings print all slides. If you wanted to print just slide 4 or just slide 8, you could put in that page number or that slide number, and then it prints it in full size of the sheet. One slide per 8.5 by 11 paper, unless you decide to change that. So that's one slide printing on one full sheet of paper. There are other options. You could print it in outline view if you just wanted to review the content and not be distracted with either images or pictures or charts or tables or just the design theme itself. You just want to look at the content, you would do outline view. This is a nice feature to, if you were having a presentation or a lecture and you were showing your presentation on a large projection screen, and you wanted your audience to have the handouts of the exact presentation. This one it's 3 per page, and it has lines on the right hand side. So on the left hand side is the actual slide, and on the right hand side it's space where your audience could take notes. So that's called handouts. The next one is there's no space for writing, but you're fitting 6 slides on every sheet of paper. So it's a way to conserve if you wanted to save a little bit of printing instead of 1 on every single page. There is 2 per slide, 4 to print on a page, so 2, 4, 6, and 9 that you could choose. It goes up to 9 slides on one sheet of paper. Of course, the more slides you have on one page, the smaller the content is to read. You could also select to print slides with notes. So this one is slide 1, and then all of your notes that you could refer to. So you could have a printed copy of it, or like I said, later on we'll examine what is presenter view so you could see your notes and your audience wouldn't. To play the presentation from the very beginning, in your quick access toolbar, it's automatically set there. So you didn't have to worry about adding that to your quick access toolbar. It was automatically there. So you have your save, undo, redo, and then slideshow from the beginning. And then again, if you wanted to add more items to your quick access toolbar, you would customize it here. Once you click that, it takes you to the very first slide, and to advance to the next slide and the next slide, you could either click with your mouse, you could press the space bar on the keyboard, or you could press the arrow keys on your navigation area on the keyboard. When you wanted to leave the presentation, whether you go to the end or in the middle, just press escape on the keyboard and now exit the presentation mode. So there's more ways than one to start your presentation. So I just showed you this one right here, which is in the quick access toolbar. Or you could click the tab on the menu tab, slideshow, and start from beginning. Or if you are on slide number 9, you could choose from current slide. So it wouldn't start at slide 1, it would go right from where you are. On your normal view on slide 9, it would open up right on that slide, the current slide. Just as the button here in the quick access toolbar, down in your status bar next to the normal view, sorter view, reading view, there is a slideshow view, so you could click it right from here. Or the function key F5, pressing the F5 function key, that'll automatically start